we can please take our seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the McKinley High School Coast Guard and the singing of the national anthem performed by the Performing Arts High School Vocal. Please post the colors.
Hold! Ready? Hold! Present art!
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting. Ready, face, forward, march!
also the Performing Arts High School Vocal Ensemble under the guidance of Mrs. Karen Saxon, Director. Let's give them a hand. Good morning and welcome, students, parents, teachers, principals, central office staff, esteemed Board of Education member, Dr. Teresa A. Harris-Tigg, and community members to the 110th Richmond Speaking Contest of the Buffalo Public Schools. I am Fatima Morrell, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum, Assessment, and Instruction, and the Richmond Speaking Contest is one of my favorite programs of the entire year because it highlights the public speaking ability, skills, and talents of so many of our hardworking students. And to the students, I say to you today, there is no winning or losing today. You are all winners because you are here confidently representing your school today. I would like to recognize any other Board of Education members at this time, if there are any. Please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. I would also like to recognize our teacher coaches who work so hard with our students over so many weeks and months to ensure our students can perform their chosen oratory piece to the best of their abilities. Can we please stand, coaches, and let's give them a round of applause. Coaches. I also would like to recognize our superintendent, Dr. Kramer Cash, and our chief academic officer, Mrs. Ann Botticelli. Could our chief academic officer please stand? She's in the audience today. I also would like to recognize the Director of English Language Arts for all of her support for the Richmond program. A very special thank you to our Board of Education member, Dr. Teresa Harris-Tigg, who took out time today to come and bring us opening remarks. I want to thank the Division of Curriculum, Assessment, and Instruction for everything that they have done. And also, I would like to thank Principal Crystal Barton for opening up the school and for support of the Richmond contest and for the success of the program. At this time, I would like to welcome our Board of Education Vice President of Student Achievement, Dr. Teresa Harris-Tigg, for her opening remarks. Thank you.
Good morning. Ooh, that was lukewarm. Good morning, students, parents, coaches, teachers, administrators, and distinguished judges. Thank you, Dr. Morrell, for inviting me to speak. On behalf of Superintendent Dr. Kramer Cash and the Board of Education, I too would like to welcome everyone to the 110th Richmond Speaking Contest. I am honored to have been asked to speak to our student contestants today. I have some experience with the time commitment and work involved in preparing students for the Richmond Speaking Contest. I am a former English teacher, and I have myself, during my tenure, helped a few or coached a few 7th and 8th graders to compete in the Richmond Speaking Contest. But I always found that there's something magical about the day of the competition. All the difficult and long preparation and practice is behind you. You have lived with your speeches for some time, and they have seeped into the very tissue of your body, encased in your cell memory, if you will. You're all dressed up, your loved ones are here, your coaches and teachers are here, but the magical part is that each of you have already won. Each of you are already a winner. Professional public speakers, and this is now your new title after today's performance. You've already earned that title. As a professional public public speaker, you have accelerated your own growth as a speaker. You've heard how a piece of coal placed under pressure and heat over hundreds of years produces a brilliant diamond. Speech contests do the same for speakers, but you don't have to wait hundreds of years. The diligence and the passion you have exhibited preparing, practicing, and delivering your speeches determines that each of you are already a diamond in the rough. As professional public speakers, you have received realistic appraisal and assessment of your skills. This is a great time right now to give your coaches and teachers a hand for the hard work and support they have offered you. If we are to reach any destination, we need to know where we are at present, and we need to know where we're going to go. Your journey, preparing for this day, has provided you with lots of good information about how special and brilliant each of you are. As professional public speakers, you have discovered the power of the spoken word, the power to give your best to your audience and to have the audience become one with you at that moment. The power of the spoken word to influence, to inspire, to express for an audience feelings that are buried in them that they have not yet articulated. As professional public speakers, you have learned lessons that apply to every phase of your life. Speech contests can be like a lab for life, if you will. You've experienced the value of approaching a task as a committed student. You've learned the importance of having a coach or a mentor. You've learned how to receive a multitude of feedback, and you get to choose ones that are consistent with who you are and the message you want to share. You've learned the value of friends who encourage and believe in you. You've learned that practicing and carrying out every task is worth doing. Most of these insights don't come easily, not even for adults. But these insights will come sincerely because you have put yourself through the tough work, the courageous work that got you here today. These insights or lessons will just spill out over every facet of your life in the future, in high school, in college, in careers, with your family, and with your friends. And as important as anything else, you have honed your skills in the oral tradition. There's a long tradition in world culture of oral literature and oral history. Although the tradition is not unique to Africans, it is well established as a historical and social phenomenon in Black culture. Historically, it has allowed people to share stories and information from one generation to another. The oral tradition is used today in some urban high school classrooms where students use hip-hop, for example, to respond to literature or to learn a new concept. Oral communication is a prepared, purposeful presentation to increase knowledge, to foster understanding, and to promote change in listeners' attitudes, values, beliefs, and behaviors. Students, this is powerful. The investment you have made for your own growth, the recitations you have selected, the hours you have spent, and the presentations you will deliver today are powerful. In closing, the Yoruba people in West Africa use a term called ashe. This four-letter word, A-S-H-E, has a very big definition. Ashe means the power to make positive things happen. Students, teachers, judges, family, and friends, each one of these students represented here today in the 110th Richmond Speaking Contest is an example of ashe. They have already done it. Each of you are already a winner. You have utilized your power to complete your goals. You have made a positive thing happen in your lives, that will render you a great return on your investment. And this 110th Richmond Speaking Contest is in recognition and celebration of each of your accomplishments and the powerful work you have already done to get here today. Congratulations to each of you. Ashe.
Thank you, Dr. Harris-Tech, for your warm remarks and your congratulatory remarks. At this time, we have other distinguished guests in our midst, our judges. And so at this time, I will take an opportunity to introduce them and then ask that they please stand after my introduction. So our judges today we have the Honorable Judge Craig D. Hanna with us. In January 2006, Judge Hanna was appointed by Mayor Byron Brown as a Buffalo City Court judge to fill the vacancy created by the election of Honorable Diane Devlin to the New York State Supreme Court. In November 2006, Judge Hanna was elected to this seat with close to 80% of the vote. A graduate of Canisius College and the University at Buffalo Law School, Judge Hanna began his legal career as an assistant district attorney in the Erie County District Attorney's Office. As an ADA, he was assigned to the Buffalo City Court and the Grand Jury Bureaus, further demonstrating his commitment to public service. The Honorable Judge Craig Hanna joined the City of Buffalo Law Department in 1999. For 5 years, he served with distinction as one of the city's chief litigators in the Corporation Counsel's office, and later served as legal counsel to then New York State Senator Byron Brown. Judge Hanna's honors and achievements are numerous. Craig is active in several community organizations and was recognized in Business First Who's Who in Law in 2002 and 2003. In 2004, he was elected to serve as a vice chairman of the Erie County Democratic Committee. Honorable Judge Hanna is a past president of the Minority Bar Association of Western New York and the recipient of its Legal Service Award. He is a board member of the Community Action Organization of Western New York and a past board member of the Ujima Theater Company. Judge Hanna is a loving husband and enjoys reading and traveling with his wife, Angela, in his spare time. They are the proud parents of beautiful Taylor Marie Hanna. Judge Hanna, if you could please stand, let's welcome our judge and give him a round of applause. Thank you. Next in our midst is Miss Claudine Ewing. Claudine Ewing's professional career started in radio news, where she worked as a news anchor reporter. Ms. Ewing graduated at the State University of New York College at Buffalo, where she earned a degree in broadcast journalism with honors. In 2004, she received the Young Alumnus Achievement Award. Claudine has earned several awards from the Associated Press for special news series, Breaking News, and she has been nominated for a New York State Emmy Award. Claudine's alma mater, Buffalo Academy for Visual and Performing Arts, awarded her with their Annual Excellence in Broadcasting Award. She was honored with Omega Psi Phi Fraternity's Outstanding Community Service Award in 2013. The Dietologist Department of Communication awarded Claudine as Reporter of the Year in Television. Ms. Ewing is a member of the Buffalo Association of Black Journalists, the NABJ. She also serves on the Buffalo State College Alumni Association Board, and she is a member of the local Get It Foundation. Ms. Ewing, if you could please stand, and let's give a nice round of applause to our judge, Ms. Claudine Ewing. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Javon D. Hunter. Dr. Hunter is the Wood-Bills Endowed Chair for Urban Education in the School of Education and an associate professor in the Elementary Education and Reading Department at the State University of New York, Buffalo State, where his teaching and research interests are focused on ways literacy impacts urban learning environments that misempower youth, their teachers, and their families. He is particularly focused upon using asset-oriented theories of learning, instruction, and professional development to transform educational outcomes for urban, middle, and high school youth. He has published in the English Journal Pedagogies. An international journal, and he has chapters in 2 recently published books. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Javon Hunter, our Woodville Endowed Chair for Urban Education. If Dr. Hunter could please stand, let's give him a nice round of applause. Thank you. Now, let's get this started. I would like to, at this time, introduce our Director of English Language Arts so that she may begin to give the rules for our contest. Thank you.
Good morning. My role today is to serve as the contest chairperson for the 110th Richmond Speaking Contest. I have 2 important jobs this morning. The first is to share the rules of the contest that will impact the viewing of the competition. All contestants will be identified by letter only. There will be no applause after each contestant. However, at the end, we will call each and every one of the contestants up to the stage and you can applaud for every one of them. The responsibility of the audience is the second job I have. You, the audience, are one of the most important parts of the contest. You show your support and your encouragement for each contestant by your perfect patience and your active listening. Each contestant that takes the stage is showing courage, and the audience gives them that courage. I will now commence the 110th Richmond Speaking Contest. Speaker A, please take the stage.
Deeply rooted in American dream. I have a dream that this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that on the real hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and sons of former slave owners, we will sit down at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that even the state of Mississippi, a state swirling with the heat of injustice, swirling with the heat of oppression, will one day be transformed into the oasis of freedom and equality. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that down in Alabama, with the governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, that right down in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that every mountain should be exalted, every hill and every plain should be made low, the crooked places be made straight, and the rough places be made plain. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is our faith that I'll go back to the South with. With this faith, we'll work together, pray together, go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. And when this day comes, when all God's children can sing my country 'tis to thee. Sweet land of liberty I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrims' pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America's become a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring for the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring for the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the Stone Hope of Georgia. Let freedom ring from every lookout mountain in Tennessee. From every molehill, let freedom ring. And we allow freedom to ring from every village, from every state, from every city. We will be able to speed up that day when all God's children, black men, white men, Jews, Gentiles, Protestants, Catholics will join hands and sing in the old Negro spirituals. Free at last, great God Almighty, we are free at last.
Sometimes I know the words to say to give thanks for all you've done, but then they fly up and away as quickly as they come. How could I possibly thank you enough, the one that makes me owe, the one I owe my life, the forming of my soul, the one that took me in at night, the one that stopped my crying, the one who was expert at picking up when I was lying, the one who saw me off to school yet spent sad days alone, yet magically produced a smile as soon as I came home. The one who makes such sacrifices to always put me first, who let me touch my broken wing in spite of how it hurts, who paints the world in rainbows when it's filled with broken dreams, who explains it all so clearly when nothing's what it seems. Are there any words to say? I find this question tough. Anything I want to say just doesn't seem enough. What way is it to thank you for everything that you have done? For 10,000 things you have done for oh so many years. For changing with me as I change, accepting all my flaws. Not loving me because you had to, but loving me just because. For not giving up on me when your wits reached its end. For always being proud of me. For being my best friend. And so I come to say the only thank you that is enough, the only thank you I can say is just clear in one way. Look before me. Do you see what I've become? Do you see yourself in me in the job that you have done? All your hopes and all your dreams has passed through me, transfers through me for so many years. And thanks for all your gifts, for everything you do, and thank you most of all, Mommy, for making dreams come true.
Thank you, Speaker B. Speaker C, please take the stage.
Yes, you're right. I have to toughen up. There's always someone who has it worse than me. Sorry I'm so depressed all the time. Sorry I bring you down. I don't mean to ruin your day or your life. I'd love to stop being depressed. I wish I could look on the bright side and turn that frown upside down. I wish it were that easy. You think it's my fault, don't you? You think it's all in my head. Yes, we all have this problem, don't we? We all get a little blue sometimes. I get very blue all the time. I'm so blue, I'm purple. Don't tell me you understand. You don't understand. Do you really know how this feels? Do you really know how this grips me inside and threatens to rip me apart? Do you know the weight that holds me down, a weight so powerful I can hardly move? Yes, I'm using this to punish you. I am angry at you, so I'm acting this way to hurt you. I need to stop feeling sorry for myself. Me, yeah, it's all about me. I want you to drop everything and focus on me. Sorry I even came out of my room. Oh yeah, a nice cup of tea will instantly cure me. Maybe if you put some strychnine in it. I wish I could just snap out of it like it was some kind of spell a witch cast on me. I'm waiting for some prince to come along and kiss my tears away. Don't worry. I won't say anything anymore. I didn't want to bring it up. I didn't want to talk about it anyway. I bet you're sorry you even asked how I was doing. How am I doing anyway? I'm hurting so bad. I wish there was something that could take away the pain. I can't handle this much longer. All I want to know is that I'm not alone. That I'm important to someone. Maybe I want to hug sometimes. Maybe I want someone to tell me that I'm not going crazy. That it's really not my fault. I need to know I didn't do this to myself, and I'm not the cause of this horrible thing that's happening to me. I want someone to be here for me and to help me through this. I need someone stronger than me. I'm so weak. I need someone who's strong enough for the both of us. I need to know you'll be there for me. That you'll never give up on me. That you'll never leave me. That you'll never go away. And I need someone to help me not give up on myself. I want to know that I'm important, that I matter, that I'm loved. Tell me things will get better. It helps to have someone to talk to. It helps to say something. Thank you for listening. Thank you for not leaving me alone anymore.
How does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgot the spot in the Caribbean by Pablo Dessa Pablo Russian squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar, the $10, founded father without a father, got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter by 14. It placed him in charge of a train charter, and every day was slaves were being slaughtered and carted away across the way, so Hamilton kept his guard up. Inside, he was longing for something to be a part of. A brother was ready to beg, steal, borrow, and barter. The hurricane came and devastation reigned, and the man saw his future dripping down the drain. Put a pencil to his simple, connected to his brain. He wrote his first refrain, the testament to his pain. Well, the word got around. They said, this kid's insane, man. Took up a collection just to send it to the mainland. Get your education, don't forget from whence it came. And the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton. And there's a million things that I haven't done. But just you wait. Just you wait. When he was 10, his father split, full of it, debt-ridden 2 years. See Alex and his mother bedridden, half dead. Sitting there in their own sick, the scent thick. Alex got better, but his mother went quick. Moved in with the cousin committed suicide. Left him with nothing but ruin, pride. Something new inside, a voice saying, Alex, he got a fed for himself. He started retreating and reading, never retrieve his on the shelf. There wouldn't have been nothing left to do for someone less astute. He would have been dead, destitute without a sense of restitution. Started working, clerking for his late mother's landlord. Traded sugar, king, and rum, and all the things he can't afford. Scamming for every book he can get his hands on. Planning for the future as he stands on the bow of the ship, headed for a new land. In New York, you can be a new man. The ship is in the harbor now. See if you can spot him. Another immigrant coming up from the bottom. His enemies, the stories of America, forgotten me. I'm the damn fool that shot him.
Thank you, Speaker D. Speaker E, please take the stage.
The Beautiful Ugly by Anonymous. What are we to define ugly? Ugly is just another form of beauty. Without ugly, we would have much less. Because even the ugliest thing has helped something. From the diseased man to the fish at the bottom of the sea, ugly has helped find cures. Ugly has solved mysteries. And what has a popular done? Stand down the hallways wearing the latest fights that don't stay. Their beautiful popularity has only made us feel more ugly. Who are we to define ugly? Look around. What do you see? You may see an ugly person, but your friend may see the beautiful love of their life. Ugly and beauty have something in common. A beating heart, a brain, a soul. Both want to live, both want to love, and both have feelings that can get hurt. When you hurt someone's feelings, you hurt who they are. Their opinions, their wants, their needs, their desires. But yet, these are all beautiful to this someone. Are they so different? If ugly and beauty have such common traits, are they the same? Couldn't ugly just be another form of beauty? A form not yet recognized by society, maybe not even recognized by those who are. exactly for us to find? Hopefully, nowhere and everywhere. Because if ugly and beauty are the same thing, then you should find it everywhere and nowhere. This is the beauty of ugly. Ugly is beautiful. Is ugly appearances, the eyes, hair, or feet? Or is that beauty? Is it the heart? How it beats? How it hurts? Is that ugly? Or is that beauty? Ugly is just a word to describe how you look, or how you feel, or how you talk. And people feel ashamed. Society has taken this word, this adjective, and caused harm. They may cause harm out of fear or out of sorrow. Do not feel sorry for them. Help them. Care for them. Do whatever it takes to make them feel beautiful. Because once you have helped the ugly, the less fortunate, the forgotten, you will see the beauty in them and find the beauty in yourself.
Thank you, Speaker E. Speaker F.
Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may tread me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you upset with me? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room, just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head, lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my social cries? Does my pettiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise? 'Cause I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting
of my thighs.
Out of the hut of history shame, I'll rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I'll rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and wide. Welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I'll rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I'll rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of a slave. I'll rise. I'll rise. I'll rise.
Thank you, Speaker F. Speaker G, please take the stage.
Ain't That Bad by Maya Angelou. Dancing the funky chicken, eating ribs and tips, digging all the latest sounds, and drinking gin and sips. Putting down that do-rag, tighten up my fro, wrapping up in blackness. Don't I shine and glow? Hearing Stevie Wonder, cooking beans and rice, going to the opera, checking out Leontine Price. Get down, Jesse Jackson. Dance on, Alvin Alley. Talk, Miss Barbara Jordan. Groove, Miss Pearlie Bailey. Now ain't they bad? And ain't they black? And ain't they black? And ain't they bad? And ain't they bad? And ain't they black? And ain't they fine? Black like the hour of the night, where love turns and wriggles close to your side. Black like. Black like the earth, which has given birth to nations when all else is gone, will abide. Bad as the storm that leaps raging from the heavens, bringing the welcome rain. Bad as the sun burning orange hot on midday, lifting the waters again. Arthur Ashe on the tennis court. Muhammad Ali in the ring. Andre Watts and Andrew Young, black men doing their things. Dressed in purples, pinks, and greens. Exotic as rum and cokes, living our lives with flashy style. And ain't we colorful folks? Now, ain't we bad? And ain't we black? And ain't we black? And ain't we bad? And ain't we bad? And ain't we black? And ain't we fine?
Thank you, Speaker G. Speaker H, please take the stage.
Why Do We Fall by Hans Zimmerman. Let me tell you something that you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. Because it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But eventually it will subside, and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever. The margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 step too slow or too fast, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too early or too late, and you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. And every break of the game, every minute and every second. You gotta dream. You gotta protect it. People who can't do something themselves, I wanna try and tell you that you can't do it. You want something? Go get it. Period. Don't be afraid to fail. You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions. Now, most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it better than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. It is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. You have to dig deep down and ask yourselves, who do you want to be? Figuring out for yourselves what makes you happy, no matter how crazy it may sound to other people. Make a choice. Just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, and how you're going to do it. Just decide. Why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why? Why can't I do that? What did you say to the kid? It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. Get up. Get up. Get up! But don't ever give up. We could stay down here and get the life kicked out of us. Or we could fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of the darkness, 1 inch at a time. Now, most of you won't be successful because when you're studying and you get tired, you quit. I don't do well in math. You're right. You ain't never studied. I'm not good at writing because you have never written before. If you're not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time. Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You're already in pain. You're already hurt. Get a reward from it. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you have to be willing to take the hits and not point fingers saying, you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. Now, you got to go and show them that I'm a different creature. Now, I'm going to show you how great I am. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke, it is written, the kingdom of God is within man. Not one man, nor a group of men, but in all men. In you. You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines. The power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful. To make this life a wonderful adventure. Now, what are you going to do? Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
Thank you, Speaker H. Speaker I, please take the stage.
I was just a child of 5 when soldiers marched up our driveway in a Los Angeles residential neighborhood, bayonets in hand and pounding our front door, ordering us out. We were permitted only what we carry, no bedding, no pets. I remember my mother's tears as she and our father gathered us up. With our precious few belongings in hand, she was determined to bring a sewing machine, fearful that we'd need to make or mend clothes where we were headed. She wasn't sure the authority would allow her to take that single machine, so she kept it a secret, even from us. She managed, however, to pack few treats for us children for the long journey ahead. That was in 1942. Early that year, on February 19th, 75 years ago, this Sunday, President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued an executive order number 9066, which set the internment into motion. On its face, the order was neutral, authorizing the military to designate whole swaths of land as military zones and evacuate any persons from it as they saw fit. But behind that facade lay a much darker purpose: to tear 120,000 innocent Japanese Americans from their homes along the West Coast and relocate them to 10 prison camps scattered throughout the United States. It didn't matter back then that most of us were U.S. citizens and had never been to Japan. We're presumed guilty and held without charges for 4 years, simply because we happen to look like the people who had bombed Pearl Harbor. For that crime, we lost our homes, our livelihoods, and our freedoms. Every year, on February 19th, we Japanese Americans honor this day as Remembrance Day and renew our pledge to make sure what happened to us never happen again in America. I am always amazed and saddened that despite our decades-long efforts, so many young people today are not even aware that such a tragedy and miscarriage took place here. And I grew increasingly concerned that we are careening toward a future where such a thing would again be possible. A few months into his campaign, Donald Trump refused to outright reject the policy and feared that the underlay the internment. Instead, he suggested that it was a tough call and that he would have had to be there in order to know whether it was the wrong one. Trump ignored the inconvenient fact that not a single case of espionage or sabotage was ever proven against any attorney, and that the military itself admitted that there was never any evidence to support the sweeping policies. A few months later, a top Trump surrogate went on television and suggested that the internment might actually serve as a precedent for another Trump policy: the restoration of Muslim Americans in the database. I cannot help but hearing these words, terrible echo from the past. The internment happened because of 3 things: fear, prejudice, and a failure of political leadership. When the exploration target group today, whether from exclusion, from here on the travel of illusion, national origins, or for deportation based on their undocumented status, I know from personal experience that these are not done as they claim. Truly, in the name of national security, no. Instead, they're intended to strike fear into communities, to show muscle and toughness of a new president, and to divide the citizenry against itself. These are acts of a despot, not an elected leader. I have dedicated my life to standing against our national impulse toward demagoguery and tyranny by the whipped up masses. The answer lies not just in education, but in empathy. The false narrative that we all are here and in this together. We all are interdependent people, sharing a common bond of humanity. The most pernicious aspect of Trump policies is thus denial of these basic bonds and that humanity. I will not stand for it. And no people of good conscience should. The question before us, then, or Remembrance Day, is a simple one. Will America remember that the internment is not a precedent? It is a stark and a painful lesson that we will only learn if we know, understand, and remember it. But if we fail, we must assuredly are doomed to repeat it.
Thank you, Speaker I. Speaker J, please take the stage.
Cage Bird by Maya Angelou. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream to the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. A cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. His tune is heard on a distant hill, for the cage bird sings for freedom. A free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade wind soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, so he names the sky his own. But a cage bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. A cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longs for still. His tune is heard on a distant hill, for the cage bird sings for freedom. Mimi, a 14-year-old intelligent girl, often kept her talents confined because she was bullied. She was bullied by many, but Chelsea was the worst. She was like the cage bird Maya Angelou spoke about. When she would come upon Chelsea in the hallways, she would have panic attacks. One month, their high school had a talent show. Chelsea and her friend signed up for it, but the day before, Chelsea's friend got very ill and couldn't participate. That day, Chelsea ran from table to table asking if anybody knew how to do it. Mimi timidly raised her hand. Chelsea wanted to say something to her, but she knew Mimi was her only hope. That evening, Mimi and Chelsea practiced. Chelsea apologized for bullying her. They hugged. Mimi felt like there was weight being lifted off her shoulders. The next day, Chelsea and Mimi took the stage. She let her voice soar. She was no longer a cage bird. She was free.
Thank you, Speaker J. Speaker K, please take the stage. Audience, we are now halfway through with our program. Thank you for your perfect patience. Please give the remainder of our contestants the same attention.
I just sued the school system by Prince EA. Albert Einstein once said, "Everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on trial we have modern-day schooling. Glad you can come. Not only does modern-day schooling make fish climb trees, but also makes them climb down and do a 10-mile run. Tell me, school, are you proud of the things you've done? Turning millions of people into robots? Do you find that fun? Do you realize how many kids relate to that fish? Swimming upstream in class, never finding their gifts, thinking they are stupid and believing they are useless? Well, the time has come. No more excuses. I call school to the stand and accuse them of killing creativity, individuality, and being intellectually abusive. He's an ancient institution that has outlived his usage. So, Your Honor, this concludes my opening statement. And if I may present the evidence of my case, I will prove it. Exhibit A. Think of a modern-day phone. For example, an iPhone. Now think of a phone we used 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Imagine a car we use today and a car used 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Imagine a class we use today and a class we used 150 years ago. They're exactly the same. And yet you claim to prepare students for the future? Well, with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you were made to train people to work in factories, which explains why you put them in straight rows, nice and neat, tell them to sit still, raise your hand if you want to speak, give them a short break to eat, and for 8 hours a day, tell them what to think. Oh, and make them compete to get an A, a letter which determines product quality. Hint, grade A of me. I get it. Back then, times were different. I myself am no Gandhi. But today, we don't need to make robot zombies. The world has progressed, and now we need people who think creatively, innovatively, critically, independently, with the ability to connect. You see, every scientist will tell you no two brains are the same, and every parent with 2 or more children will confirm that claim. So please explain why you treat students like cookie cutter frames or snapback hats, given the one-size-fits-all nonsense. But if the doctor prescribed the exact same medicine to all of his patients, the results would be tragic. So many people would get sick, and yet when it comes to school, this is exactly what happens. This educational malpractice, where one teacher stands in front of 20 kids, each one having different strengths, different needs, different gifts, and different dreams, and you teach the same thing the same way? That's horrific. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant should not be acquitted. This may be one of the worst criminal offenses ever to be committed. And let's mention the way you treat your employees. I mean, teachers have the most important job on the planet, yet they are underpaid. No wonder so many students are shortchanged. Let's be honest. Teachers should earn just as much as doctors, because a doctor can perform heart surgery and save the life of a kid. But a great teacher can reach that heart of that kid and allow him to truly live. See, teachers are heroes that often get blamed, but they're not the problem. They work in a system without many options or rights. Curriculums are made by policymakers, most of whom who haven't taught a single day in their life, just obsessed with standardized tests. They think bubbling a multiple choice will determine success. That's outlandish. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we continue down this road, the results will be lethal. I don't have much faith in school, but I do have faith in the people. I know this sounds like a dream, but countries like Finland are doing impressive things. They have shorter school days, teachers make a decent wage, and they focus on collaboration instead of competition. While students are 20% of our population, they are 100% of our future. There is no telling in what we can achieve, so let's attend their dreams. This is a world in which I believe, a world in where fish are no longer forced to climb trees. I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker K. Speaker L, please take the stage.
Stand Up by Joseph Arnold. Stand up. You can do it. Do you have a dream? You have to stop at nothing to make your dreams possible. It's alive in you. Anything you want in life is possible. There's no such thing as forget it. You want to be an actor, dancer, singer, musician, entrepreneur? Be it. Live it. Do it. Act on what is in your heart and soul. Don't wait for time to pass and slip through your fingers and live in regret. Do it now. Stand up. Listen to me. I've been knocked down and around my whole life, man. I get knocked down each day, but each day, I get back up. I've had people deeply dear to me rip my heart apart, and people I looked up to and admired stomp me down. But I've always kept moving. There's always a way to work your way under someone's shoe hole. If you keep moving and you're still breathing, and if you're still breathing, then you can have another at that. Don't ever stop. It's so important for all of us to follow our dreams, to follow what we love to do, and what we believe in. Stop listening to people, stop letting people tell you it can't be done. Because it obviously can. Whatever that little thing inside yourself is, don't keep it in anymore. Act on it. Please. Why? Because the world needs you to. Find what you are good at and exceed on it. Daily. Not to get religious or anything, but God gives us each a gift, a talent, a skill, something we're good at, whatever you wish to call it. It's your responsibility to take it, stand up, give it, and own it. Don't sit on it and waste it. Live your life, take the hard knocks. But if you can just move one little centimeter towards it, you're that much closer. Don't let the world stomp on you. When it pushes you, push it back, harder. Want it. Stand up. And when you get there, work even harder to make it possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker L. Speaker M, please take the stage.
Do you believe in me? I believe in me. Do you believe in me? Do you believe that I can stand up here, fearless, and talk to all of you? Hey, do you believe in me? Come on, I can't hear you. That's right, you do. Because here's the deal. I can do anything, be anything, create anything, dream anything, become anything. Because you believe in me, and it rubs off on me. Buffalo Public Schools, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in my classmates? Do you believe that every single one of us can graduate ready for college or the workplace? I hope so, because every day we're showing up in school, all 34,000 of us. And what we need from you is to believe that we can reach our highest potential, no matter where we come from. Whether we come from the east side, whether it's the fruit belt, whether it's North Buffalo or South, or even the west side. Whether we're Black, Latino, or Latina, like myself, whether we speak English, Arabic, Burmese, or any other language. What we need from you is to push us towards success in all that we do. You better not give up on us. No, you better not. Because in some cases, as you know, you're all we've got. You're the ones who feed us, who wipe our tears, who hold our hands or even give us a hug when we need it. You're the ones who love us when sometimes it feels like no one else does, and when we need it most. Please, don't give up my classmates. Teachers, do you believe in your colleagues? Do you? I hope so, because they came to your school because they wanted to make a difference too. Believe in them, trust them, and even lean on them when times get tough. We all know we kids can make it sometimes rough. Am I right? Am I right? Can I get an amen? So whether you're a counselor or a librarian, a teacher's assistant, or you work in the front office, whether you serve up meals in the cafeteria, my favorite, or help keep the halls clean, or whether you're a teacher or a principal, an administrator, and of course our superintendent, we need you. We need you now more than ever. Please believe in your colleagues. But do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that what you're doing is helping to shape not just my generation, but that of my children's and my children's children? Do you believe that what you're doing is helping to shape what we will become? We need all of you, ladies and gentlemen. We need you now more than ever. We need you to know that what you're doing is the most important job in the city today. We need you to know that what you do for us is the most important thing ever. You might not believe in some of us, but we believe in ourselves. I believe in me, and you've helped me get to where I am today. I want to thank you for what you've done for me and for so many others. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker M. Speaker N, please take the stage.
An excerpt from Let America Be America Again by Langston Hughes. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be that pioneer on the plain, seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream that the dreamers dreamt. Let it be that great, strong land of love where never kings connive, nor tyrants scheme that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic grief. But opportunity is real, and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor, white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro, bearing slavery scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant, clutching to the hope I seek and finding the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient, endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of the satisfying need, of work the make, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker, sold to the machine. I am the Negro, servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean. Hungry yet today despite the dream. Beaten yet today all pioneers, I am the man who never got ahead. The poorest worker, battered through the years. Yet I am the one who dreamt our basic dream. In the old world, while still a serf of kings, who dreamt the dream. So brave, so strong, and so true. Yet today, its mighty daring sings. In every brick and stone, in every full turn that's made America the land it's become. Oh, I am the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. I am the one who left dark Ireland shores and England's plain and Portland's grassy lea. And torn from a black Africa strand, I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on release today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamt, the songs we've sung, the hopes we've held, and flags we've hung. The millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me. And yet, with this oath, I swear, America will be. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant 1. Contestant O, please take the stage.
Things my father left me. I had my first cup of coffee when I was about, I think, 9 years old. My father used to say that all situations could be solved over a cup of coffee. No matter how big the situation was or how much was at stake, a cup of coffee could solve all problems. So, every Sunday, when my mom was at the office, we would head to this tiny diner on 27th Street, all the way across town. And we didn't go to church, so this was like our holy ritual. You know, every Sunday, kind of a big deal, especially to a 9-year-old girl who depended on her parents for everything. Anyway, we would get in my dad's truck, blast the radio, roll down all the windows, even in the winter. And when we get to the restaurant, we'd sit in our usual booth on opposite sides, and Tiffany, our waitress, would come by and we'd order our usual. 1 coffee with 2 creams and 1 sugar, and 1 with just 3 sugars. We drink them slowly. Sometimes we'd order pancakes with a side of bacon extra crispy, like my dad likes. Or sometimes we just relish the terrible coffee in each other's company. We discussed everything. School, politics, religion, law, history, pretty much anything I'd want to talk about. And he'd always listen to me. Tiffany would come by once to refill our glass and give me a fresh chocolate chip cookie. And my dad would write her a little note with a smiley face on it and tip her 30%. She'd come by and grab the check and we'd wink at each other. I loved when we did that. And we did that till I was like 13. That's what I hate about growing up. Losing all the old habits you had when you were a kid, growing out of them. Anyway, when we finished our coffee, we would go back to my dad's truck and the windows would still be rolled down and the music would still be blasting. And when we drive home, I'd run around the house for hours, hopped up on caffeine. My mom was furious. She thought it would stunt my growth or give me high cholesterol or something. I didn't find out till I was 15 that I'd been drinking decaf the whole time. My dad left when I was 17. I don't know why, I just woke up one morning and he had just left. For those 3 Sundays after I found out, I took my mom's car and rolled down all the windows and blasted the radio and drove to that tiny diner on 27th Street, all the way across town. And when I got there, I sat in our usual booth and pretended he was on the opposite side of me. Tiffany came by and I ordered our usual. 1 coffee with 2 creams and 1 sugar, and 1 with just 3 sugars, and waited. Tiffany had long stopped bringing me cookies, claiming I was too old for them, but for those 3 Sundays, she brought them anyway. I guess she just knew how sad I was. I wanted to write her a little note with a smiley face on it and tip her 30%, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. And so she came by and she picked up the check and she winked at me. I just started crying because I couldn't hold it in anymore. I couldn't hold anything in anymore. And she just patted my back and walked away because what was she supposed to do? No one could fix this. So I just sat there for the rest of the day with makeup just running down my face and waited. Waited for nothing, I guess. Because he never did come back, and I don't even know where he is right now. And I know what you're thinking, probably exactly what everybody else thinks. I was 17, basically an adult, but that didn't mean I didn't need my dad in my life. I still need my dad in my life at my age now. And I never got a letter or a phone call or anything. And just when something like that happens to you, you wonder what you did. You wonder just how horrible of a person you are to make someone you care about so much just leave, and there's nothing you could do about it. I just want to see him one more time, just to talk, just to ask questions like adults. So when I'm out at a restaurant or wherever, I'll order our usual, just in case.
Thank you, Speaker O. Speaker P, please take the stage. Audience, we have 5 speakers left. You have been so supportive. For the first contestant, I just want you to take a deep breath. Your perfect patience and your support for our last 5 contestants.
They say I'm not the average black girl because I'm so well-spoken, poised, full of etiquette, a white man's token. I remember my ex's mother telling me I didn't know how I was going to react when we brought home a black girl. But I like you because you talk so white. Well, when did me talking right equate to me talking white? They say I'm not the average black girl. No, not the average black girl. Because the pigment of my skin is just a shade brighter than that black girl over there. You know that black girl over there. The black girl with the nappy hair. The black girl whose elbows can't skip a day without lotion, and whose heads and hearts are filled up with self-hate and balled up emotion. The cocoa brown girls who have to face society every day and be tough because no matter how good they straighten their hair, they're good. It's still not good enough. But see, luckily for me, I don't fall into that category, They say I'm not the average black girl because I speak with so much class and I don't have too much but just enough asset and not too much but just enough pizzazz and, just a little bit of attitude. Don't want to come off as one of those average black girls and come off as rude. Popping their gum and shaking their neck. Yeah, because those girls you like no respect. But luckily for me, I get a pass because the melanin in my skin matches that brown paper bag. And my father, brother, and men I date, pants don't sag. And when I talk, my tongue pronounces every syllable. And the comb part down the middle of my hair is naturally visible. Oh, it must be a weave, or she must be mixed, because y'all know them black girls ain't got that good. Or when I walk to a room full of white men, they all stare. It must be the long limbs of my unaverage black girl hair.
They said I was the average black girl when I corrected the professor when he used the word conversate. Converse. The word is converse. And just in case you didn't get the memo, there are now 8, not 9 planets in the universe. And when you see the numbers in your stocks moving up and down, remember Oklahoma in a small town. The first Wall Street was a black Wall Street that got mysteriously burnt down. But see, they say I'm not the average black girl. I'm not the average black girl. They say I'm not the average black girl. They say I'm not the average black girl. Well, let's flip this script and rewind this. We paint the lines that have blurred over time because the average black girl that I know, made 19 trips to the Underground Railroad to free slaves, sat on segregated buses, refused to get up and pave new ways. Because the average black girl that I know are people like Diane Nash, Oprah Winfrey, and Miss Fannie Lou Harper. But do you think the ones who say I'm not the average black girl even care? No. So pardon me if I can openly accept your compliments. It's just the average black girl that I know. See, the average black girl that I know had courage to pass every fear and fought for justice and equality year after year. So pardon me as I shed a tear because I'm not half the black girl she was. I am not half the black girl she was. See, there's a major flaw. These girls were out here breaking, making, and changing laws. So I bow down to my black queen standing in the mirror of her work, and I say, no, I am not the average black girl. I can only aspire to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Key.
Echoes in history. Don't tell me words don't matter. I have a dream. Just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Just words. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Just words. Just speech. It's true that speeches don't solve all problems. But what is also true is that if we can inspire our country to believe again, it won't matter about the different plans or policies we have in place. So that's why I'm running for the President of the United States. And that's why we just won 8 elections straight, because the American people want to believe in a change again. So don't tell me words don't matter. And even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream that is deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day in the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at a table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will turn into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that one day, my 4 little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with this vicious racist, with this governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord will see it together, and all flesh shall see it through. So let freedom ring from the prejudiced hilltops of New Hampshire. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Just words, words. Did you know every 3 seconds in one of the world's most poorest countries, a child dies of extreme poverty? Every 3 seconds, they die from hunger, malaria, or TB. Dies from lack of drugs that we here in the United States can buy from a pharmacy. Every 3 seconds, dead. Just like that, they're dead. Every 3 seconds, somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's future is gone. Today we're calling on the 8 most powerful world leaders to end this daily tragedy. With just a stroke of a pen, 8 men can make a world of a difference of millions of lives of people. So let's do more than speak just words.
Thank you, Speaker King. Speaker Carr.
How Many Lives Can You Live by Sarah Kay. When I was little, I could not understand the concept that you could only live one life. I don't mean this metaphorically, I mean I literally thought that I was going to get to do everything there was to do and be everything there was to be. It was only a matter of time. And there was no limitation based on age or gender or race or even appropriate time period. I was sure that I was going to actually experience what it felt like to be a leader of the civil rights movement, or a 10-year-old boy living on a farm during the Dust Bowl, or an emperor of the Tang Dynasty in China. My mom says that when people asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, my typical response was princess, ballerina, astronaut. And what she doesn't understand is that I wasn't trying to create some combined super profession. I was listing things I thought I was gonna get to be: a princess and a ballerina and an astronaut. And I'm pretty sure the list probably went on from there. I usually just got cut off. It was never a question of if I was gonna get to do something, so much of a question of when. And I was sure that if I was going to do everything, that it probably meant I had to move pretty quickly, because there was a lot of stuff I needed to do. So my life was constantly in a state of rushing. I was always scared that I was falling behind. And since I grew up in New York City, as far as I could tell, rushing was pretty normal. But as I grew up, I had this sinking realization that I wasn't gonna get to live any more than one life. I only knew what it felt like to be a teenage girl in New York City, not a teenage boy in New Zealand, not a prom queen in Kansas. I only got to see through my lens. And it was around this time that I became obsessed with stories, because it was through stories that I was able to see through someone else's lens, however briefly or imperfectly. And I started craving hearing other people's experiences, because I was so jealous that there were entire lives that I was never going to get to live. And I wanted to hear about everything that I was missing. And by transitive property, I realized that some people were never going to get to experience what it felt like to be a teenage girl in New York City, which meant that they weren't going to know what the subway ride after your first kiss feels like, or how quiet it gets when it snows. And I wanted them to know. I wanted to tell them. And this became the focus of my obsession. I busied myself telling stories and sharing stories and collecting them. I have stories that I've tried to tell for years, rewriting and constantly searching for the right words. There's a French poet and essayist by the name of Paul Valray who said, "A poem is never finished, it is only abandoned."
And this terrifies me because it implies that I could keep re-editing and rewriting forever, and it's up to me to decide when a poem is finished and when I can walk away from it. And this goes directly against my very obsessive nature to try to find the right words and the perfect form and the right answer. Now, I have a story that I've been stumbling over for years and years, and I'm not sure if I found the perfect form or whether this is just one attempt, and I will try to rewrite it later in search of a better way to tell it. But I do know that later, when I look back, I will be able to know that this is where I was at this moment, and this is what I was trying to navigate here with these words in this room with you.
Thank you, Speaker R. Speaker T, please take the stage.
An old story is told of an African king who had a friend with whom he grew up. The friend had a habit of looking at every situation that occurred in his life, positive or negative, and remarking, "This is good." One day, the king and the friend were out on a hunting expedition. The friend would load and prepare the guns for the king. He had apparently done something wrong when preparing one of the guns, and after taking the gun, the king fired it, and his thumb was blown off. Examining the situation, the friend would remark as usual, "This is good." To which the king replied, "No!" And he proceeded to send his friend to jail. About a year later, the king was hunting in an area that he should have known to be clear of. Cannibals captured him, tied his hands, stacked some wood, set up stake, and bound him to the stake. As they came near to set fire to the wood, they noticed that the king was missing a thumb. Being superstitious, they never ate anyone who was less than whole. So, untying him, they sent him on his way. As he returned home, he was reminded of the event that had taken his thumb, and he felt remorse for his friend. He immediately went to the jail to speak with his friend. "You were right," he said. "It was good that my thumb was blown off." And he proceeded to tell his friend all that had just happened. "And so, I am so very sorry for sending you to jail." "No," the friend said. "This is good." "This is good? What do you mean this is good? How could it be good that I sent my friend to jail for a whole year? If I had not been in jail, I would have been with you." I bet everybody knows about the saying, "Nobody is perfect." Well, it's true. One way or another, at one time in your life, you're bound to make minor or major mistakes. As we get older, we tend to develop a sense of anger for certain people, or worse, ourselves. Just like in the parable of the unfaithful woman, Jesus tried to pass a stone to anyone who had no sin, and they would cast it to the accused. He said, "He who has no sin may cast the first stone." No one dared to do so. This goes to show that no one is infallible. Everyone makes mistakes. Just learn to forgive yourself. That's the first step. What is done in the past cannot be undone. We cannot change our past, but we can mold the future today. There's no point in crying over spilled milk. Besides, what good would that do, right? Stop looking at it with regret and start listing down paths that led you to make that mistake. Now that you've evaluated the problem and you've listed down paths that led you to make that mistake, change your path. Don't make the same mistake again. The first time you made the mistake, it was unintentional. But if it happens again, then you chose for that to happen. Be smart enough to learn the laws of cause and effect. There's something that caused you to make that mistake. Just recognize it and avoid it. Mistakes show you your weaknesses and your skills, so you know what you need to work on to make yourself better. Hating yourself and others will not make you better as a person. It will only make you distrusting and paranoid. Even though
you know what you are as a person, you're happy with what you've become, there's always room for improvement. There's never anyone who's just perfect. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Just be sure to remember that everything happens for a reason. And forgive yourself. A mistake may seem like a catastrophic thing to you now, but it all depends on how you look at things. A mistake may be something you never forget, a haunting memory. But deep down inside, you are still beautiful, no matter how much you mess up or how bad things get. Just stay true to yourself, because yourself is beautiful. I promise.
Thank you, Speaker T. Speaker
Birmingham by Jasmine Mance. Mama said the bombs was meant for me. I think it was meant for Pastor Martin because he be having them dreams. Maybe those white men didn't know that little black girls, we be going to church too. And we be folding our hand, praying and taking communion just like their daughters. Maybe if I wore my church shoes, the bad men would never have came for me. I knew they matched my dress, but they would just be hurting my feet. I'd be thinking, maybe God was too busy trying to protect Martin think about me. I had never asked for this dream. But some sacrifice comes without permission. That God can always protect you from the boogeyman. So some baby girl will reach the pearly gates and she won't be handled. But what did I do? I never asked for indignation. All I wanted was a pair of old skates, maybe an extra piece of cake at dinner time. Mama said that some man will just be too guilty to climb instant with Christ. But what did I do? Mama said that it only took one man to die for the sin of this entire world. So how did that man let this church trouble into my soul? And I remember there being enough holy water to stop the smoke or to climb the burning. I remember bones crushed too fine to ever be recycled anything more than no more. Mama said that some man will just be too guilty to climb instant with Christ. I never asked him to you. I never wanted to play with the white girls. Mama said that she felt bad for those girls because they was crying for their mama. Mama said the bombs was meant for me. I think it was meant for Pastor Martin.
Thank you, Speaker Yu. At this time, we bring all of our contestants to the ring. Jazz Ensemble will
so that you can give everyone a round of applause. I denied you in the beginning. Okay? Speaker A is Darnice Carter. She is from School 74, and she is in the 8th grade. Speaker B is Leah Fogel. She is from School 97, and she is in the 7th grade. Speaker C is from School 59. She is an 8th grader, Asia Loin. Speaker D is from School 32, Montessori, and she is in, I think, 8th grade, Brianna Goffman. Speaker E is from School 94. She's an 8th grader, Kinja Bagala. Speaker F is from School 80, Rosiah Dillard. She's an 8th grader. This is the fun part, right? Speaker G is from School 74, Raina Reed, an 8th grader. Speaker H is from School 72, Michaela Nunley, an 8th grader. Speaker I is an 8th grader from School 6, Abdullah B. Abadi. Speaker J is from School 72, 7th grader, Tiana Rodriguez Santiago. Speaker K is from Olmsted, School 156, Medina Ahmad. Speaker L is from School 94, 8th grader, Aaliyah Foster. Speaker M is 8th grader from School 89, Ariana Cuevas. N is from School 80, 8th grader Zaire Stafford. Speaker O is from Performing Arts, 8th grader Gianna Frank. Speaker P is an 8th grader from School 31, Ayana Lee. Is an 8th grader from School 89, Cameron Hunt. Speaker R is also from Olmsted, 8th grader Annabelle Dig. Speaker T is from Performing Arts, 8th grader Alasia Matthews. School 31, 8th grader Zinenowit Burnham. And now the moment that you've been waiting for, I'm going to announce 4th place first. 4th place is be presented to Speaker E from School 94, Kinja Bagala. School 94. Are we ready for 3rd place winners? 3rd place is Speaker N from School 80, Zaire Stafford.
Richmond speaking contest is Speaker H from School 72, Kayla Nunn. Please give all of our contestants At this time, I now close the 110th Richmond Prize Speaking Contest.